for him, but
Well, Weeha's a streamer now, so streamers are distracted. It is definitely not a hero in his hero pool. We'll see how it performs on it. I mean, he obviously wanted the melee matchup. That's gonna suck. However, I do have experience with this matchup.
Okay.
I actually played mid bounty versus mid coddle in the last week.
I am actually realizing that. Yeah, okay. Smoke Ink is going to be able to find its mark potentially, or maybe not. Fly. He's going to die. Nopaj is too fast. They couldn't close it. And Gunner is now going to be a second death potentially, as they're going to have some additional slows. The Nova's coming up. And yeah, that's going to be not just first blood, but a second blood going the way of Shopify Rebellion. A little bit of deja vu. Yeah. Losing 2 kills before the runes spawn. Probably going to be giving up 3 bounty runes as well.
I don't think there is any way they win a level 1 fight if Shopify is 5. So that was a pretty big gamble. And it does not pay off at all, as we are looking at a similar start. You have to win these rune right clicks here. Cartesi wins his. Still split 2.
Yeah, they split 2, but
a lot of gold. A lot of gold.
If Stormstormer had gotten that one, it would have been massive to get a 3rd bounty rune, because then that would have made that first blood situation a little bit more worth. But I have to imagine his bottle timing in a bounty hunter versus ranged matchup is got to be hugely important.
Yes. So anyway, what I was saying is I played this matchup. Now, I'm not pretending to be a mid player, nor nearly as good as either of these two. But I actually don't think this matchup is that bad for bounty, like lane-wise, you know. I think the game, you know, once you start getting solar bound and vesseled and all that, it's pretty goddamn awful. I don't think bounty has really any gameplay versus the coddle. But lane-wise, I don't expect Stormstormer to just get stomped. Like, it's gonna get blasted in. He'll be able to CS. He'll get a couple of hits on Yopaj. You can spam the shuriken. The coddle doesn't want to have to buy extra regen. And I actually think it's a lane that is not even that unfavorable. I wouldn't be surprised to see Stormstormer just pull ahead in the first 5 or 6 minutes. But again, it's going to be like the mid-game gameplay that is very hard to overcome here for the melee bounty hunter.
Yeah, he's doing really well for himself. Like, got the hit on Yopaj there to force him off the range creep attempt, and then managed to get the deny in the range creep. So he has his bottle coming out, and he's still done just as much damage to Yopaj as Yopaj has done to him, and he's gotten way more CS. So yeah,
the Shuri spam is no joke versus hero, because he doesn't want to buy extra regen early in.
Sure.
I mean, it's a strong spell. It's 100 damage nuke for 50 mana, and since you have bottle and you're guaranteed to get a water rune every time, right? So you have infinite shurikens here, and the coddle doesn't want to buy a bottle. Like, he wants to just get to fast vessel bots. So the fact you have to buy extra regen in this matchup and you don't get water runes and you're getting Shuri spammed, it's goddamn annoying. As Yuma once more finds a kill on Saberlight. This Venge lane going well for Nouns. Yet again, they have just executed well.
Yeah, this one I can't say I'm too surprised at. Pango side lane. Yopaj, yeah, he's going to be hit by the blast. Caught by a rotation from Lelis.
I'm telling you, this bounty coddle matchup, it's no joke, man. It's no joke. It's really not good for coddle early.
They are managing to get a return kill as Saberlight comes back in the lane, but not that big of a deal. Honestly, probably need a deny on Fly just so we can bring some regen back to Yuma.
I mean, here's another question is, like, again, you got to remember the way the draft panned out. They wanted to force Saberlight onto an awkward offlaner, right? Not the Mars, not the Centaur. The Doom got banned early. So they ended up pushing the Pango there. It's like those Ember games from Nouns. Like, okay, you got this coddle matchup. He's already died once. This bounty's going to farm the lane. Is this offlane Pango going to do anything in this game? That is a question worth mentioning, because I think he's probably going to go Vlad's or like maybe Diffu if he's having a really good time. Maybe he'll pop off, but I could also see him being useless. Like, we've seen a lot of patches where this offlane Pango just felt pretty weak. It's a big unknown for me. I could see it go either way. And I think Shopify are just hoping it goes the way of them in terms of Saberlight getting some auras or diffusal up early and being a force to be reckoned with.
Stormer 19-6 in that mid lane matchup. Looks like bottom lane, the Alchemist is doing pretty well for himself. refarming. Though they haven't really done anything to Gunner. Seems like he's managed to keep his HP up. So that offensive duo that you were talking about, he is going boots rush on the Centaur as opposed to an early helm.
He has the double ring. He's doing pretty well for himself. Honestly, higher resources than I thought he'd be at this point in the lane. So I feel like he's pretty happy, especially considering that Lelis has rotated for both water runes. Just denying the coddle here, full force. Making sure this lane is good for Stormstormer, and it is good. He is leading the pack here in CS. So as much as the coddle has a free-ish lane, this bounty also has a free lane. It's just, what is Stormstormer going to do with it? Because, he can't interact with the Opage, so he has to go fight elsewhere. Ideally, gank and kill the Alchemist, steal his gold, maybe kill this Pango once. His item build is also going to be pretty optional here. Like, there's a world where you go phylactery bounty hunter and you just fight. There's a world where you just tank up with, like, early BKB or some sort of Shroud or Mage Slayer build. I don't know. You could go Vessel. Not out of the question. I mean, there's a lot of random stuff you could build.
Well, it's setting it up. Potential for some action here in this bottom lane with Kitrak getting so low. And no raindrop either. He trying to pull that one in.
Meta top.
Top lane, meta, another one used. They're going to try and challenge Yuma during this timing, but it looks like they have too many wand charges, and they're going to be able to bring down Yuma.
And missed the flag hit.
He just needs the swashbuckle, and he got it in the end. And he's got a shield crash coming up a second. He can try and go for the kill on fly, especially with the Kitrak making the rotation through. He got hit by mine, though. Lelis commits, misses the blast off, gets the blood grenade to get the kill on the last hit. But still, a rough one for Nouns in that rotation, as it's Shopify Rebellion who go through the gate first.
It's not the type of fight you want to get caught out in versus the Maiden Gyro. This is where they're going to hit their stride. Early game nuke damage between like the levels 4 to 7. If you start getting beat down and you're the ones on the back foot, it's going to be really painful really fast.
Oh,
that's what you want the bounty to alleviate it. And yeah, he missed the haste rune of all runes too.
Yeah, he was like, I'm coming back in LA. He didn't want to go back to Fountain. Now he's going to pay for it. He might have to TP out. He's just dead. Maybe actually Lelis could maybe get a kill, a counter kill, a blast off that land. Stormstormer, he doesn't know. He tried to get the shuriken off. He still managed to get the kill. Lelis picks it up on the coddle, but so close to Stormstormer actually getting the last hit instead.
Honestly though, I feel like it's not even that bad for Nouns. You got a lot of XP for Lelis, what you need in this game. You do get the track kill, and you get another death on this coddle, who still doesn't have boots of travel. Like, honestly, kind of slow game for him, considering he was first the melee hero and he was the last pick, right?
Yeah, and you know Bounty Hunter wants to make this rotation being level 6, so being full resources for this play is great. He TPs up the top lane, doesn't find anything immediately, so instead he's going to swap sides here, go for the kill onto Arteezy, who's not really level 6 yet. This is a big pickup, and very likely to get it too, thanks to the Stampede. Gunner will try and close in. Probably gonna need there's another shuriken to slow him down. The stomp lands, and they're able to burst him down. Big track kill, and shuts down Arteezy again from that coveted level 6. They gotta be careful though, the blasts are coming in. Stormstormer gets run over by that one, and so does Gunner. They're both gonna die as they get too aggressive, thinking they could challenge the supports there as well, but a blast from Yopaj makes the difference.
Gotta respect the Gyro Maiden in these open areas. And they do not, they pay the price. Extra experience for Yopaj with that boost to travel up. Now he's almost level 8. That death hurts Stormstormer a lot. I mean, you get the big track kill on the Alk. Damn Knight's gonna slow Arteezy down a little, but you don't have TP. Now you're gonna have to walk out from base here. It's gonna be a slow trek towards those later levels. Especially if you can't just keep fighting with your supports here. So far, getting a little outmatched by the pace of this Gyro Maiden, which to be expected.
Another attempt here at keeping Arteezy from getting his level 6. Immediately try and get aggressive. The two supports sitting on the side. Don't find it though. And Stormstormer spots the TP out from the coddle, so a great opportunity for him to just go straight for that Alchemist with a rotation from Yuma through the gate. That's perfect. They get everybody involved in a track kill, or almost everybody, and they'll take a tower immediately.
second death for Artura before he can get to level 6 as well, and now he is the one with a no TP stuck in
But
base.
Stormstormer's caught in the open field again against the gyrocopter. Good dust from Kitrak landing there.
And this trio is they're gonna be a problem now. Like, this start was just good enough that they're just gonna run around, and every solar bind, every frostbite is basically gonna be a kill. No way to avoid it. Just gonna have to dodge them.
It's gonna be a pretty scary when he gets to Shard on Theolacor. Solar bind plus the Shard gyrocopter. That missile's just gonna kill you outright.
I mean, it's a double-edged sword, right? Like, it's very deadly on the map, but if you get early BKBs or magic resist, in theory, you're negating a lot of the Shopify lineup as well. I mean, we're talking about a meta with like Mage Slayers and Shrouds and all this stuff in it. They look amazing here, right?
Yeah.
Lotus Orbs. Just a question of can you get to it before the damage is done. So this is where Shopify's lineup wants to pick up the pace, start just running people down.
Speaking of being run down, he's gonna be rolled down.
Easy pickings.
Shopify who make a heavy number rotation into the side lane. And not catching a core for it, though. Looks like they're going to go the other side. Go for Gunner. Gunner. Unstable Concoction is going to land on him. See if he thinks he could TP out with the reset here. A Stomp. Another Solar Bind. So without Stampede, he's not going anywhere.
You get the tower. Little consolation prize, but... Yep, Yopaj heating up now. DD Rune into Stormstormer's pocket. I mean, that's a nice one. I just don't know if he can really use it. Very hard for him to close the gap on any of these heroes and survive. And it'll be the Diffusal for Saberlight. Just opting for the more aggressive build. Honestly, I think Saberlight just builds to scale. I think he just plays this like a mid-pango. Like, because you have the Chakra to back you up, you're going to be a pretty strong force in these mid-game fights. It's like the Coddle Pango of old. Just get in there with a Diffu, Ags, whatever you want. Wreak havoc.
The amp damage. Gonna go to work here. Stormer opts not to chase him as he got the basic Dispel off of Chemical Rage, removing the track, and there goes a lot of Storm's damage and threat.
This is the one target you want to find on the map and kind of follow.
He jumps up to the high ground. Saberlight going for fly instead. The swap gets him away from a lot of this one. As the Gyrocopter is going to die first. He has a chance of maybe getting... He's still alive, actually. The wand charges keep Fly up. Just another blast from the side. Almost clips Fly. Not quite good enough. Great blast. Lands on a 2 there from Lelis. Yopaj right in the middle of this, but Stormstormer is low on HP. But the Solar Bind slowed down, so no threat any longer. 2 for 1 in support trade-offs.
Some more track gold. We also have Lelis just rushing up goddamn Lotus Orb first. You just want to get rid of this Solar Bind. Can't blame him.
Got the regen. Turn around. Theo in some trouble here. If the Venge can get close enough. Big blast healing up some of these heroes. Stormstormer's getting low. He's trying to run it out, and he does manage to run himself fast away from all of the damage. He stays alive. They get 2 kills, 2 track kills, I believe, on top of that. And he had a regen rune in his bottle. It really doesn't get much better than that for Nouns.
Regen saves him even through the Vessel reveal, in a sense, from Yopaj. Gets killed for a 3rd time this game on the Coddle. Nouns continue to find these little openings in these skirmishes. And putting themselves in a decent position to scale into this game. Gotta remember, I still feel like the scale is on their side for sure. They can just get to the later defensive items.
This is the unstable concoction attempt. They wanted to get the kill on the Centaur, who was low. But he's got Bounty Hunter behind him. Maybe not close enough to save him now, though. Rolling Thunder is going to be some problems. He hits it a 2nd time. Maybe not even needed. Arteezy will clean up that kill, no problem. And also force Stormstormer to TP away. He's closing in on that BKB, as you said. Like, oh, a lot of these little skirmishes, they're getting openings for Nouns. Openings that are made that much more devious when you have track gold going your way. He gets a fast BKB. There's nothing stopping him from running down his hero of choice.
Other than his own lack of damage.
Yeah, that's true. Yuma.
Deep dive here.
Yeah, big deep dive. They're not immediately going to target him. So a lot of magic damage. What did I say, Avery? A lot of damage from these
So
supports.
much value from the solar bind. My God, it's just almost any supports would be able to take advantage of this massive solar bind.
Laylis, is he gonna get here in time? Or maybe he's gonna get here a little bit too early. Blast off up to the high ground, TP's out, so no stealing the wisdom runes here.
Did keep their mid tower alive, and it'll be an arcane rune for Yopaj. Doesn't mind. He does. And here's the thing, like, you get BKB on this bounty. You run in the fight, you track like some Crystal Maiden, you BKB Janata hitter, courier. Okay, you dealt like 400 damage, 500 damage. You gotta do that like twice more to kill her. It doesn't feel that great.
He got the dust on him. He could chase him down. Anyone save him? Oh, another Sunder save from Yuma. He is really racking those up. He is still gonna be dead though. Too much magic damage.
If you don't have a way to get rid of this Coddle's control right now, you're just dead. There's absolutely nothing you can do. The power of the pick. They'll find a return kill.
Yeah, they get the gyrocopter. They may be punished for it though. It's gonna take a little bit more to get the kill. And now they're caught in the frostbite with Saberlight. Swashbuckling forward, swap in, Kitrak winning, or excuse me, Fly winning the kill on Kitrak rather.
Gunner wants him now.
Doesn't get it. Yeah, these are bold moves from Nouns.
So we'll give Shopify a lead, up 1k, though they have the Alch, so maybe they don't feel too good about the game being even with an Alchemist.
Yeah, I would say Coddle are two heroes that should be ahead.
Yeah. I mean, the 3 deaths on Yopaj, imagine where he'd be without him, right?
Yeah.
So, Nouns keeping themselves in this game. But this is where this lineup heats up. Like, the next 10 minutes, in my opinion, there's Shopify's to take. You have the extra spell damage, you still have the Solar Bind, which is causing problems. This Vessel does a lot of damage. You have the Diffusal Pango that can run through people, Blink as well, so initiation's guaranteed. Like, the second you get your spells on anybody, they're pretty much dead, as you're still trying to get this Bounty BKB, and you're still trying to get this Lotus Orb on Lilith. Stealing some stacks, though, that feels pretty good.
Yeah, it does. I mean, the
Those are stacks for
BKB,
the
the
Alch.
Lotus, those are so massive.
Arteezy takes a tower of his own. An unstoppable force.
Yeah, the Radiance very rapidly turning into more items. Blink Dagger next, so he's not gonna go Manta and try and farm his way. He wants to keep being super aggressive.
And they're gonna steal more stacks.
Why not? That's going to be the plate mail up next for Laylis. So he's getting tankier, especially if he gets this 10 talent, magic resistance, plus a bunch of armor.
This was actually a good place for them to be if they would have caught Saberlight, but just had good timing running through. And this is that BKB for Stormstormer that just feels hard to use. Like, I don't really know what you do with it. It's easy to say, oh, just go fight them, but like, you can't just go fight 520 move speed Coddle, you know?
Was there a better item choice? Because he had to have something to dispel this Solar Bind, right?
I don't think so. I think Coddle just made his game really hard. You know, he wanted this easy Pango out core game to just run into and not have to deal with some long range control mechanism, but just getting outmaneuvered here. It's gonna be a struggle. I mean, you could have rushed Ags, but again, you face the same problems. As long as detection is there for Shopify, they see you coming in, and you're just starting to get barraged.
Radiant should look to their top tower.
So they're just gonna do a little bit of split pushing, while Shopify are very clearly looking for any kills, any fights that they can get. Grouped up, smoked up, with Blink Dagger initiation tools. They're looking. They don't want to go to this far left-hand side of the map, which is where Stormstormer's presence here is actually really annoying. Even if they do make this rotation all the way back to him, he's got BKB, so not an easy kill. Instead, it's Gunner who runs into it, managed to get a blink away before Shopify arrive. And now Stormstormer pops that BKB and TP's out nice and easy.
Well, BKB for a tower. Guess you take that. Doesn't feel good, though, considering it's the long duration. Arteezy looking for a solo play. Finds himself.
Yuma is here, but Yuma is blasted up to the high ground where he doesn't want to be. Stampede used to allow him to reset. Stormstormer had the late missile catch him after that TP as he was trying to get aggressive. Awkward timing there.
You want to start finding fights with his bounty. I just don't know how I don't know really how you do it because Shopify are just balling. So you kind of have to be able to just take the 4v4, 5v5. I don't know if you're really ready to do that. I don't think Yuma can join that type of fight and survive. Mines on the high ground.
Fly playing around the swap mines, but Shopify have they're pretty used to that one, seeing as Steel Core was doing enough of that in game 1. Laylas might get caught out here. He's gonna go for a blast away, TP out. Saberlight's not gonna get there in time. Just shy of stopping that TP. That's a Rolling Thunder on cooldown. And look at bottom lane right now. No BKB yet up on Arteezy. If they somehow find him here.
He finds himself.
He finds himself. I was gonna say, they have all 3 cores on the side of nouns here, but...
Just throw it.
Okay, well, Yuma now runs into him. Hunter's making his way over. He spots Yopaj. He wants that kill if he can get it, but Yopaj is way too fast. 4 staff and a billion movement speed. Not catching him. No chance in hell.
There's a smoke coming, though. Might catch some supports.
Yeah, might. Fly looks for the swap. Gets it. He's going to take a lot of damage in return, but the important thing is no track kill off of that Stormstormer too far away.
Well, it's cliffed himself, though. Unlucky.
Well, it just leads for prime neutral farming time.
Yeah, I'm still not sure if this blast off should take.
Gunner in trouble. Stampede blasted back in. Movement speed doesn't do anything against the force movement that Yopaj brings with the blinding light.
He's having a free game right now. This mid game period for the Coddles, absolutely nothing to touch him.
Feels like they need just one smoke gank where they get Fly close enough to get a swap on him.
And once more, this game might come down to the bench. How many good core swaps can you get? How many cores can you bail out? Stampede has also looked pretty good and just disengaging a lot of the early spells being thrown out. But it only gets you so far. At some point, you have to kill heroes here because Alk is doing Alk things. He is gonna hit a pretty strong timing. This is a hero that, yeah, you picked it early if you're Shopify. Sure, you gave down some counter picks in like Venge TB or whatever, but it's a hero when he gets ahead and he gets Roshans, he can always force the high ground and just take the issue to you before you're ready. That's the concern here.
And the TD doesn't function very well against the Coddle, right? Yopaj actually completing that TP. Fearless, apparently. TPing into a tier 2 tower with a BKB bounty hunter, but they got another charge out of Stormstormer.
Yeah, that was bold, to say the least. You could have got swapped, you could have got Centaur stomped. That was actually an insane play, but we'll give it to him.
Goes to show the mentality.
That's a C player right there.
Go, go, go. Yeah.
They do have the right read of this game, though. I mean, it is go, go, go. You got to just keep killing here.
I mean, hell, they're 3, 4, and 5 just finished off that mid tower at the tier 2 because nouns they're not willing to take any fights, and very clearly they are out to split push, out to dodge the ball roll up here. Laylas does complete his Lotus. Stormstormer halfway to his Aghanim Scepter. We've got Yuma, who is going to work towards an early Scotty in this matchup. Way more important that you get that item early against the Alchemist and against the heals coming out from the Coddle. You managed to steal away Wisdom Rune. Laylas, nice dodge there in the shield crash. And Yopaj is gonna have some damage from the bounty hunter, meeting blinding light. Pushback though onto Stormstormer. They're gonna call it there.
What is happening to Yuma right now?
Whoa, the Sunder being popped out here, and the Stomp comes through. The double damage supports get blown up by Gunner with the one switch double edge.
Doesn't want to let him go.
Yeah, he's going to catch up to him, but at the same time, if they don't have the Rolling Thunder, there's not that much follow-up to all this. Stormstormer is just like, okay, I'm going to pop the BKB. Everyone else is out. That was a great trade.
Yeah, time to push the lanes and farm the map. I mean, they pretty much got what they wanted. They got the Wizard Rune. They got the Alchemist to join the fight, which means he's not farming, and they got some extra kills on top of it. Pretty much didn't lose anything. Solid trade here for Nouns. Once more, Yopaj will try and find a kill, but he cannot connect. Stalling out some momentum. Yet to see a Roshan drop, yet to see Arteezy really make his presence felt in these big fights. And a second Lotus. Done.
Yeah. I love that he did that. You know, screw the Shivas. Honestly, you don't need it. Just play for stopping the power of this Alchemist and Coddle. And the Lotus deals with them both. Gives armor and counter to single target spells.
There's another reason I think it was actually in hindsight pretty important that Saberlight went this Diffusal Ags type Pango as opposed to an Aura Pango, because like your Coddle's gonna hit a cliff at some point versus these Lotus Orbs. It doesn't mean you can't overcome it and still have impact in long fights, but like the hero does suck versus item. Your Soulbind disappears, your Vessel disappears. It's just not fun. So the Pango can pick up some of the slack, then you're a lot happier. And the Pango doesn't care about the Lotuses. So like the one hero that doesn't do anything really versus him.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you can remove some of the slow and Diffusal Blade, whatever, but good track. Died to mines.
Yeah, go through that gate. See what happens. Run into the triple mine setup of Leyless.
He took 1,950 damage from mines.
Yeah.
Insta died. Yeah, that's Crystal Maiden for you right there. See, I told you, Cap. I told you.
I'm sorry. He took 1,900 damage. What support is living through that?
I mean, if you were playing Phoenix, he would have lived. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think that's actually true.
You would have had 2,500 HP right now.
If you said Ogre or Treant Protector, I would have believed you.
Oh, did you see his Phoenix in the first 3 games? He's like 2,000 HP at 15 minutes. That hero gets beefy because of the item buildups. But you know, your Crystal Maiden with 2 strength gain and negative starting armor and HP, like, because Gaben hates you, what can you do?
Interact has a gem now, so they are saying this is their timing. Similar to last game with the Medusa, Shopify have this window around this first Aegis and second Aegis. They're going to try and play real hard. They've committed heavily to this timing with the gem. And if Nouns continues to elude them like Leyless just did, it's going to be frustrating.
Yeah, they are ratting them really hard right now. Very successfully, too. Not only Shopify have caught anything. They are feeling it. It's getting frustrating out here. They don't want to be trying to catch heroes. They want to be pushing high ground and balling up with their Alk.
Saberlight's got an Aghanim Scepter, a Shard, and a Shield Rune.
I mean, that Scotty's done. I think Yuma's ready to fight if the fight comes to him. I mean, he's not going to go looking for it, but
Sure.
if it comes, he's ready to take it. Otherwise, he's just going to keep ratting the map. And he is scaling because he has that Venge behind him. Centaur Stampede on top of it. He's going to have double Lotus Orb. Shopify got to start getting something done here.
And a question of whether or not, like, the Pango can make up for the Coddle. Is he going to be able to make up for the Alchemist versus Terrorblade matchup?
It's a big question. I don't know. It really depends how much Arteezy can get here in the next like 5 to 10 minutes.
They spot Yopaj. They are on top of him with 2 heroes, but there's plenty behind him. BKB immediately going off, and Leyless making a run for it. Blast off away while Saberlight gets himself stuck on a cliff. Another situation where they managed to get a lot of heroes from Shopify showing themselves, and I think maybe the best part is Leyless is still out of the map. He's going to cut the wave at top.
Terrorblade pushed in bottom as well, forced the Coddle back. I mean, Nouns are really playing this game pretty well. This is not an easy game to play.
Stormstormer needs to not get caught mid, though. Finally an opening that Shopify Rebellion can do something with. They force a rotation back. They get a big kill on Bounty Hunter, who just completed his Aghanim Scepter.
He has been really annoying. I was questioning what he's going to do with his BKB. It's just been TP out, but sometimes that's all you can do. You may as well maximize it.
Yeah. Playing up some illusions. Hopefully with his downtime, Stormstormer will realize that there's a tier 2 available for him, or maybe he's just going to skip past that tier 2 and wait for tier 3 neutral items.
I mean, we've all done that.
Yeah, we've all been there. Not sure how many times I've been there as a core dead for 45 seconds.
I mean, Spark of Courage is a pretty good neutral item.
Maybe he just had some trash support versions for his tier 2. Stuns himself. Stable Concoction being a threat here. They got to be careful with these high ground touches with Avenge, who is level 15, very high level on Fly. I was going to say, does he have level
big.
2 swap? Yeah, he's got level 2 swap. He's approaching level 3.
I mean, this hero also has very good talents. Like, the level 15 talent is big. It's 5 armor. It's huge. Like, he has Vlad's up, he has Glimmer, level 2 swap plus the damage talent on that. He's ready to go, man. This is where this hero is. He's a menace in the fight. They have double Glimmer, double Lotus. Ashivas.
Higher levels and Vengeance Aura combined with the, I think probably the best core to combo with Vengeance Aura. Hairblade probably has the highest base damage of any hero. Well, I guess having the attack speed to back it up, maybe Tiny adds more, but
yeah, they're both pretty good. I mean, any Agi carry is good with this.
Yeah,
for sure. But Terrorblade does enjoy it. I think when you can go like a butterfly build, you feel the best. Can't really do that this game, but it's not going to complain as BKB has done for him. Saberlight really wants to get use out of this Aegis.
Lotus Orb trying to do what they can to protect Leyless. A swap back, and they'll take Fly instead. That's a basher now complete for Saber.
Costly pickoffs as the map's closing in. That Aegis is going to expire here, so they didn't get the high ground with it, but they're probably thinking about it high ground with the second one, just trying to max what they can get right now. Build the lead. Gem out as well, so they're controlling the vision. So far, controlling the fights. I mean, nouns can start looking for something. They have their big items to deal with the Alk and the Shivas and the Scotty. They have BKB. It's not impossible.
Saberlight jumping forward. Aegis just about to expire. A blast off comes through, and they also have the Shivas. He rolls it up. He doesn't take immediate damage, gets a little bit of heal. Leyless is already dying for it, but Gunnar gets the support as well.
So low.
Saberlight barely able to get out of there as the damage came through.
Just didn't get the BKB on the bounty. That Alk's done too fast. Arteezy sends him into the abyss, and that was a dangerous fight for Shopify, that Aegis expiring like that. Getting caught behind a tier 2, but they don't get punished.
Playing into double BKBs like that as well. Like, as you said, the bounty hitter gets his off. Yuma maybe sees an opportunity to pop meta and chase some heroes down there as well. All of a sudden, you feed away a bunch of track kills. There goes your entire net worth lead that you're holding on to right now.
And it's not a net worth lead you want to give up, because you're playing an Alchemist lineup, so you really need it for these high ground pushes that you know it's going to come to at some point.
Big smoke. Big smoke. This could land just where they wanted to, but running into Gunnar instead of the other cores. Big Lotus. Stormer slowed down, can't actually get the hit off, finally does. The Kitrak, he'll die, but he already drew a lot of attention. Saberlight goes to the finish on the fly, does manage to get that one. Scotty slowing down Arteezy as he chases after Leyless. Leyless going for the blast off, hit by the stun, not able to get far enough away. E-Blade actually helping him out there. The missile's coming in, he finally does die, but now the missile's going to be reflected back to Thea Lacour. They do manage to get a 4-stat to get him away. Saberlight jumping forward, so much damage. What was that challenge?
What?
They got a gem off of that too, so Yuma, the trade-off of 2 for 3, maybe not necessarily the best, but taking the gem away from Shopify Rebellion was amazing.
Bro, I don't know, maybe he's just played with, it's like that smoke from the other game, you know? Like, he sees Terrorblade, he assumes it's Arteezy. He's like, I'm with you, brother, we can fight. No, that's Yuma, my friend, and that is not a full HP hero that you can challenge. That is an expensive death, like you said, because he had the gem. A big item to give away here as you're fighting for map control. Not something the supports are going to be happy with. Once more, it's a fight that Shopify win, but not convincingly. They don't feel great about, right? Like,
yeah.
I think Terrorblade is pretty happy with that fight. You get a little extra gold for the bounty hunter, though. I don't know how much bounty is going to be a factor in this game other than just a damage soak. And you're looking towards this next Roshan, and this next Roshan it's everything in this game. You need to win that fight. You need an Aegis on this Alchemist to break the high ground here, especially versus Venge Swap. that can just instantly force the fight if the Alex starts hitting a tower.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Looks like Arteezy somehow managed to have a read on that ward being placed by Stormstormer. He backs out, joins the rest of his team. 1 minute until Roshan's back up. It's in that awkward place where it could be top or bottom for these teams.
Yuma bought out for MKB here. He is ginormous. Like, he is basically the same net worth as Artur, and he does not have Grievel's Greed. He has illusions, but he's put out another 100 CS on this Alchemist, and is paid off. He is ready to rumble. As long as he doesn't get jumped, he's gonna do some serious damage in the fight.
Stormstormer breaking the smoke.
Yeah,
Shopify Rebellion do not get the initiation they were looking for.
It's all about the Lotus Orbs and the Hex on Yopaj. He needs to see somebody, but you don't have the gem. Can't see shit.
Yeah. That's why that gem being thrown away was such a bad idea. Gotta be careful. Sentry on the ground here. Beginning to start getting some tracks up, though. That is a problem. Underneath the Sentry and Ward right now, Stormstormer gets caught by the side, trying to blow him up, but they get a swap back. Now the jump in from the Centaur, but Shopify Rebellion have baited it nicely. The Illicore is still in a bad position, will be caught out and killed, but he does have a buyback. Shopify Rebellion TPing away on Kit Track. The other 3 cores making a run for it. They're going to the other side of the map. They're going away from where Roshan's gonna be. So it looks like Nouns are gonna take this one.
They have the mind control too.
Yep.
Well, this has just been setting up the mines and sentries in here. That does not look contestable, especially after you TP away like that. Man, that gem loss really hurt him in that fight. Like, Yopaj runs in, he has a Hex, he gets a smoke popped, and you don't see anything. And I mean, what are you supposed to do? Run into the tree line as a coddle, right? It's just impossible. Artur, he can maybe just blind jump there, but tough timing. Imagine you're contesting that Roshan on Radiant side bottom as Shopify like 2 minutes earlier, right? That's a way different setup. Timing's just not lining here, and that is an Aegis into Terrorblade's pocket. He is an absolute god right now. I don't think you can bring Yuma down or even come close twice. And you're always going to have this bounty hunter breaking smokes. He doesn't have to do much more. Stormstormer does not have to deal a massive amount of damage here. He just has to make the teamfight initiation annoying. As a second gem comes out, and once more put on Saberlight.
Is there a spot where the script is flipped and the Terrorblade has kind of hit his timing? The other heroes on the side of Nouns don't scale the best, especially with the way that we're talking about this bounty hunter. This is not a bounty hunter that's going to be, 6 slotted, as at least the way he's going right now.
I don't think so. That's where I go back to the draft. I think it's a product of your supports. Like, you went all in on this Maiden Gyro to snowball this game. These supports are not going to scale. Like, they scaled through items and net worth off the snowball, not through their spells. Whereas you have this Venge backing up the Terrorblade. This Venge is just going to do a massive amount of work.
He spots him. Maybe he didn't see him immediately. Either way, BKB is going to be used. Saberlight had a chance to be able to catch that bounty hunter because, again, he does have that basher, so BKB TP away isn't free for Stormstormer.
I think the X factor for Shopify is Pangolier. He's had a very good game, 9, 3, and 14 for Saberlight. He's very farmed. He built scaling items. If he can cause some havoc, there isn't really control for the Rolling Thunder. You catch some heroes on a choke point, you start getting some bashes through. You can deal a lot of damage here with Chakra Magic to back you up. But the damage is going to have to start to come from him as Yopaj's damage. It's just falling off. He's a good Hex. He's okay control if you can start off with it, but even then you're against Stampede. That's another problem here. Like, let's say you run in and Hex some guy. Okay, he's a sheep, but he's a 550 MS sheep. And there's going to be a Lotus Orb thrown on him. Like, is that a target you want to go on if you're Shopify Rebellion? I don't know, man. It's spooky. So their sources of initiation they're getting closed in on as well, and it pushes more towards this Pangolier to really find big Rolling Thunders and bashes in the fight.
And maybe that's where the game does get a little bit easier in some ways for Shopify. If Nouns are the ones trying to push things in, then you might be able to get that initiation a lot easier. Where before it felt like Shopify Rebellion's always reaching. They're always chasing after you, always reaching, always trying to get the, you know, that side situation that you're talking about that gets so easily countered by Stampedes. So
it's definitely easier. It limits Stormstormer's impact in terms of scouting out the initiation and being this blockade. He's kind of useless in just a head-up man fight. At the same time, I mean, the reason the nouns are bringing it to you is because they're confident Yuma with 2 lives and almost 6 slots is untouchable, and I can't help but feel like they're right. I mean, as long as he gets to hit people, he is the ultimate beast right now.
TPing first cancels it.
You also have this Alec Terribly matchup, like you have this AC Radiance, and you're just getting reflected.
Yeah.
This feels bad. Artur basically has 1 jump off this like Blink Concoction, ult BKB, Bloodthorn when you're going to work. And if he doesn't kill a big target in that jump, I think the fight is hard. So you really got to make that jump count. It has to be on the Hex from Yopaj or like Big Rolling Thunder. Go in, bring down this Terrorblade without Magus, bring down this Centaur. If you think you can chain stun him enough to do it. There's a swap waiting. I mean, Venge is annoying because she can always prevent these single target jumps, but you just have to do it.
20 talents. We got the Conjure Image duration on Terrorblade, Stampede cooldown on the Centaur. Almost level 18 on the Techies, almost level 25 on the Alchemist. These are some of the timings that are coming up for some of these heroes. I mean, yeah, it looks like Dagon 5 for Yopaj, the build-up. I don't know if that'll be enough.
It's damage.
It's damage.
I don't think there's anything else he can go here that makes a difference. If he can make himself a threat, it'll count down the way, but
Illusion's getting some information here. Getting a lot of information to the smoke through the gate. They're not close enough to immediately jump, and in fact, they're actually not going to try and get to Gunner. They're going to play on their high ground ward, playing it safe, hoping that Shopify run into them.
They don't want to just run the Terrorblade in and risk him getting Hex bursted when he doesn't have Aegis, and the swap can't be in position, so once more, they much rather have Shopify jump them.
Dude, this Centaur is so tanky when he's got Shadow Walk on him. He's got that minus 30% damage taken.
Oh, that's big.
With this shard. Really this guy's going to like 10,000 effective HP. He's going to start jumping in close immediately to Artur, who needs some help to be able to get him away. They swap him back in. Yuma is actually kind of out of position because of that swap. That was not good for them. And Arteezy's managed to get himself away thanks to Rolling Thunder, stopping Yuma from chasing down these heroes. He's struggling to be able to hit anything with the disarm coming out from the Frostbite with a follow-up. Now he's going to use that extra movement speed to try and get away. Arteezy may not be here, comes back in, managed to get off the Sunder though just in time over Saberlight before he can roll it up. Down to half HP. Big damage from Saberlight as he managed to hit a big swashbuckle, but they had the cheese. Now they've got the Lotus out onto the TB. The TB is going to be hit by the stun, but there's no fall after the missile. Arteezy is only just now back into the fight, and he doesn't have Chemical Rage. He's got a Bloodthorn.
Useless.
And he's got buybacks at this point, but it's Saberlight who's doing out all the damage. They have to stop Yuma from being able to get away from this one. A swap back. The meta is now down. He's making a run for it. All of these heroes from Nouns just running interference, making sure that their carry gets out alive. He stuns himself. It's going to be Gunner who is going to be left behind here. He is the one hero on the side of Nouns that will very slowly die.
3 buybacks out from Shopify, including that Pangolier, who it felt like was the only one really bringing it down.
Maybe they get Stormstormer too. Hit him with the AoE self-explosion on Concoction, and they finally have the detection now. So they get a second kill, a big one too, yeah. It helps that it was delayed too, even longer death timer in some ways for him.
They did rescue one of the gems, but there's still the one on Saberlight. He gets back. This Pango he's starting to do some work, honestly, but it took 2 lives there. And obviously, so much of that fight is predicated on the fact that that swap backfired very hard. Like, you swapped Artur out of a situation where he was pretty much dead for sure to Yuma BKB running up the high ground.
Yeah, instead he was melee range of a Terrorblade with meta on. That like there was no way he was getting out of there.
So just miscommunication there, because if Yuma doesn't go in and you swap the Alk, he's dead. If the swap doesn't happen while Yuma goes and he's dead. You do both, he lives, and he did live. So Arteezy gets to save his buyback there. But that was not a very convincing fight for Shopify Rebellion, as their lead it's not growing and it's wearing thin. And that cost them 3 buybacks they are not going to have the next time.
Which pretty much puts their Roshan capabilities up to contest, right? Like nouns, they could go into this confidence saying, guys, they don't have buybacks. If we can get to the pit with our 5, you know.
Very straightforward, right? I mean, if you kill this Pango, it's just a free-for-all. And it will be Refresher as the 6th slot for Yuma, while Artur finishes Swift Blink. So Artur all in on the damage, does not have buyback on this Alchemist. He is committed, knowing his team doesn't either. But Yuma has 2 of everything here. Like, what do you do versus him if you cannot start on him? And you can't start on him because there's Swap Stampede, 10 Lotus Orbs, and 60 Glimmer Capes. So, yeah, you need Aegis, and they're just going to go in the pit.
Wow. Nouns not contesting this, maybe because they also don't have buybacks. They did use their buybacks on their 2 supports, and the cores don't actually have it off of gold. So they just give this one up. FD Bounty going the way of Shopify.
Smoke through the gate as well, looking for a straggler.
Refresher for Pango.
Yeah, it's a second life for Saberblade on top of the Refresher when he comes back. And he has that level 25 rolling Thunder talent, which I guess doesn't matter too much if he has Refresher, but he dumps it off to somebody else. Give it to Yopaj here. Potential. Breath of life here in the late game with that Roshan that I don't know if it was theirs to take, honestly, in a straight 5-on-5, but just outmaneuvered him.
The mine set up all over the place. Shopify may have the extra life, and they have the potential to use buybacks more effectively, being so close to their base, but they stumble into this high ground. It might not be the good fight that they're looking for. Arteezy is capped out at this point in time. He doesn't even have boots. He can maybe go for a Refresher 7-slot item so he can make sure he always has Chemical Rage, but at what point do you start thinking about Aghanim Scepter giveaway, and who can that really benefit?
Give it to the Gyro and let him farm for another. I don't know. I mean, the main
give it
one's
to Saberlight,
okay.
and he'll get a bunch of gold that he can put into other items.
Probably the best one, honestly. I mean, you can get Will-O-Wisp.
You a fan of that?
I mean, it does 75 damage. A Flicker now.
Of course, yeah.
Big buff. Big.
Big.
Honestly, this is like the most insulting buff I've ever seen. Like, it's actually so insulting. 75 damage for a 4K gold item that's like useless anyway. My God. But hey, you can get it here for free, so 75 damage, 75 damage. You never know.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
You can get the Bloodstone. Make it the
Increase
Mega
AoE.
Willow. The Mega Wisp.
Don't bring that up again. All right, well, Arteezy's going to start going to work on buildings, and he does kill them very quickly.
What the hell was that?
Yeah, he's got the Swift Blink full-on attack
Can't
speed
move, though.
build.
He's hitting himself.
Yeah, he's being slowed down quite a bit. Here comes the roll-in. Saberlight trying
What are
to
these
stun these
Lotuses?
heroes and let Arteezy go away. The Lotuses are causing some issues, but Arteezy is able to beat down the Centaur. Slowed down quite a bit, and the Chemical Rage is about to expire too, so they may have found an opening, but it can't necessarily fully take advantage of it. They can't, like, keep going high ground. Can't force a buyback either.
I feel like something got
Not
triple
yet.
Lotus there. I just heard the Lotus sound proc like 3. I'm pretty sure some spell ricocheted between a Lotus into another Lotus back into a freshly casted Lotus. I don't even know if that's possible. There are a lot of Lotus orbs in this game.
I bet it probably is, right? You refresh the Lotus with a different Lotus, you probably can bounce back a bounce back spell.
This Alex nasty right now. He is chopping.
Swap back in into the bind, blows up instantly.
He's gone.
He is gone in an instant. His damage might be good, but his HP against the swap mines was nothing.
I have never seen a more useless buyback for the team that got what they wanted.
You talking about Gunner's buyback?
Like, by the time that buyback went through, that Alk was already gone. My God.
That's a little bit concerning. You can't hit high ground because Techies is able to do 2,700 damage to you.
But this is what I was saying with
an instant.
Like the whole thing, right? You need the Aegis on the Alk because if you go higher with the Alk, you just get swapped. And there's nothing to bail you out there. Absolutely nothing. None of your teammates' spells or items do anything to help you in that situation. You're just gone. So, like, they gave Aegis this Pango, but how do you end the game? And if you can't end the game, what's your game plan? Because I still think you're getting outscaled.
Oh, Thealacor. Bump it into Stormstormer. And
this is awkward.
Gets a BKB out of him. Okay.
Also, look at this triangle right now, man. Lola spent a lot of time here, and
Oh, yeah.
he just lit it up. So somebody's gonna have a bad time trying to farm an ancient camp. I don't know who it's gonna be, but somebody's gonna have a bad time there.
You want to hear my prediction? Because I've done the same thing before. It's going to be the Pango who rolls through.
Yeah.
And he ends his roll somewhere in the middle of all these mines. And they just all are going to go off on him.
I could also see Kitrak just dying randomly.
Maybe, but I mean, the thing is like Saberlight in this situation, he pops, rolls up. Okay, he fearless apparently. Just squashes right through up to the high ground. Okay, there goes all those mines.
Well, that was anticlimactic, but
yeah.
At least we got to see them all pop. Ag's done for the Venge now, so can't even really jump him, but I don't think you were ever going to anyway. And
it's gonna be
the scale's coming.
Gonna be a lot more of those mines.
I guess the good news,
collecting an Octarine.
Yeah, these supports for nouns I think have to be scaling harder, but I guess the good news is this Terrorblade's capped. He's level 25, he has his duration, and he's got 8 slots. So, and he's what he's gonna be.
They were looking for a swap kill there. At least something to get the BKB out. Doesn't find it. Shopify sitting on a high ground. Boy, Kitrak's inventory looks real sad.
Yeah, you know why?
It's a 2-item maiden right there.
Because he's a crystal maiden.
Now that's not entirely true because that hero can actually hit neutral creeps thanks to Frostbite.
He's gonna run into Stormstormer.
Yeah, who's running into who here? Shark gonna be used. Pops a freezing field. Stormstormer has to use his BKB. Swap back on the Toddle. A big Toddle kill. That'll start the team fight. Saberlight gets here a little bit too late. Maybe he can get the kill onto the bounty hunter though. He's low. He's gonna roll back in, try and hit him with a shield crash. Almost gets him too, but now he's gonna have to get out, and he's not gonna make it far at this rate. Trying to hit, refresh for the blink. Gets a little bit farther. He still has the track on him. He refreshes up, rolls it up, TP's out. He gets away somehow. That was pretty damn clean, I won't lie.
I think he bashed Yuma on the last hit of his swashbuckle too, so TB couldn't chase him. I think that's why that tip comes out. Now, some fortune goes the Pango's way on a nice little refresher play, gets out. But again, you're just cutting losses here if you're Shopify. And the second Yopaj gets swapped in, that fight's over.
Yeah.
As Yuma, with his 12,000 gold, decides to buy a Moon Shard and eat it, and still has AK left with a Daedalus in his backpack and an extra bottle. He's very large.
I was about to say, it's not a good sign when the Terrorblade is going through the extra items before the Alchemist is. Right? Our TZ doesn't actually have a consumed Moon Shard yet, and he hasn't given away any Aghanim Scepters.
You get the Berserk Potion, but yeah, he's not getting nearly as much. Just been restricted on the map.
Yeah, too many buybacks and deaths forced out of him.
Radiant are scanning for enemies.
This Martyr's plate on the Terrorblade is also just very good value. Because again, you're just mostly spell damage on Shopify. He doesn't need some like crazy neutral item, he just needs to stay alive. And 25% magic resist, bump him up to 51. Very happy about that. As Roshan has respawned, it'll be another banner shard Roshan. Who even takes? I mean, I guess you have to give the Aegis to Yuma so you can push the high ground. You give a refresh to Centaur. Honestly, even the Venge if you want double swap, but it's probably going Gunner's way. As Arteezy starts striking your base.
Small little poke gets Glyph out of them. So a bit more damage to the buildings, but with the Aegis now in the hands of Nouns, Shopify will have to, I would say, sit back and wait for the push, but they've been pretty active in trying to like just sweep across the map together. Oh, I was about to get careful going through that gate. Remember what happened last time? And the time before that. The time before that.
A little surprise waiting.
A little present. Left by Lilith. And they're gonna get all these wards down, no problem.
Game's in Nouns control right now. They have a chance to end it right here. Push it to a game 5. Spooky territory if you're a Shopify Rebellion fan.
It's right. If you're just now joining us, this is a best of 5 finals to determine who's going to have a spot in Dream League Season 22. And it started off this series. Shopify crushed Nouns in the first 2 games. But Nouns bounced back pretty nicely in Game 3. Had a really, well, I would say, decently one-sided game to their favor. Did quite well for themselves. They seem to have figured out a little bit more of their draft and how they want to play against Shopify in this series. But if they slip up here, they won't have a chance to be able to see it through.
All for naught if you can't close it out. But right now, they look like they're in a solid position to close it out if they get one more good fight.
Saberlight spotted. Got to be careful of the swap. There it goes. Doesn't roll up. Doesn't get the Rolling Thunder off in time. Swashbuckles over to the side. Thanks to the extra status resistance, but he's going to be a little bit stuck here, and the damage will catch him.
Old critical strike. Artor wants some blood. Ooh, look at that chops.
Yeah, he does bring down. Okay, they get the gem back in their hands and get away with it. Okay.
Yeah, recall gets the Alk out. I mean, he still does insane single target burst.
Yeah.
His attack speed is just out of control.
That was a great move, because otherwise they surely would have been forced into a buyback there. But Arteezy getting an opening here might just be able to save it. We'll see. It looks like Nouns still want to try and force things and get a buyback out of this Pangolier, despite not having their bounty hunter for this fight.
I mean, to be fair, the bounty hunter is pretty useless in this type of fight.
That's true.
Like, he doesn't do anything, so I guess nothing's changed. It is dangerous, though.
Slow down the damage. Still plenty of time left on the Aegis, though. No rush. 2 minutes of an extra life for Yuma.
He has slot problems. He just can't carry everything.
Yeah.
It's tough.
He's looking at a Satanic next to try and help out his HP against all of this magic damage spam that he's experiencing.
I mean, I guess you BKB, then you swap the BKB for Refresher, and you refresh, and then you swap that out for Satanic. It's just
who's got some
made up.
Who's got some game-changing level 25 talents?
Oh, he bought Ags. Oh yeah, that's better. You just eat the Ags.
Oh yeah.
So that's like way better slot management.
Yeah, I forgot he didn't have that yet.
And Artor pooled an Ags. To who? I'll give it to the Maiden.
Maiden. Oh. Okay, so that means Pango ate his own?
Yes.
Oh, that's a little inefficient when you got an alchemist, but I guess we may not see this game get to that point. We got 25 talents that are coming up for a lot of these supports, and swap back. Saberlight rolls it up, Rolling Thunder, but the physical damage is too much for him. Yuma brings it down quick. Arteezy trying to challenge the Terrorblade. He's blowing him up. Oh, that damage was too much, and look at him go to work on the Centaur too. Yuma's gonna come back in for a second life. Can Arteezy keep this going? A blast off of Fear. It's all trouble for Arteezy. He goes down. He does have a second life he's going to have to use a buyback for to be able to hold this one out, but it looks like he's holding on to it for now, seeing if Shopify with their spam can keep these heroes at bay.
That Terror Wave was the only thing stopping the Berserk Ogre. Now Yuma, he's gonna refresh here if he wants to. Get another BKB.
Fly, he's got the swap cooldown, so with the Aghanim Scepter, he's pretty fearless. He's ready for any extra pickoffs that can force Arteezy to take this fight.
He's waiting for his ult to be back up.
Yeah.
5 seconds on this Chemical Rage for him to buy back and join the fight if it extends.
So Shopify getting any sort of opening here, which is going to be Saberlight jumping in onto the Terrorblade. Terrorblade, no BKB, heavily chain stun, but there goes that swap. And now with the Stampede also being used, they're going to refresh. Yuma. He is not going to be able to get this kill. Fly couldn't get the swap out onto his illusion. They will get the lane of barracks, but it's looking like Arteezy might be able to hold on to his buyback here.
Does not care about lanes right now. He knows the win condition is that he gets to trade buys in a way where he's alive and Yuma's dead. Like, that's what you have to play for, right? So
yeah,
I don't dislike this decision at all. I think his buyback is more valuable than a lane for sure. That's pretty much all they gave up. Traded for the Aegis, refresher on the Terrorblade, double meta. Now Yopaj.
Look at this play on Stormstormer.
Yeah, this is good.
This is beautiful stuff. A great pick-off by Shopify Rebellion that collects another gem.
They are whittling through some of these lives right now.
They're bringing heroes to this top lane. They're going to try for another one of these pick-offs. And failing that, maybe Arteezy just guns it for the buildings.
It's recalls. Giving them so much mobility.
Range barracks dies instantly.
And nobody home. I'll collect the check. Gotta remember, Gunnar bought for that push as well. He has the buyback for 6 minutes on the Centaur here, and he melted to this Alchemist.
And no meta, no Terror Wave. Nouns, they don't want to fight this just yet.
60-minute neutral items coming out as well. Double mirror shield instantly for a Nouns hero on the Terrorblade and the Centaur. So you had those Lotuses, now you also have mirror shields to reflect these stuns and the hexes.
What does Arteezy get? Another mirror shield. Mirror shields all around.
I mean, you mirror the mirror, I guess. Why not?
Now, the funny part's going to be a mirror shield may not protect you against Sunder, right? That's one of those awkward interactions where you stop the Sunder and Sunder him back. That means, swap back. There it goes. Again.
But he got BKB.
Same thing with the swap, but a BKB. He clears through the illusion pretty quickly. TP in, coming in from the Vengeful Spear. Another swap ready to go. They got to get back. They got to get away from here. Fly's looking for it. He doesn't pop it. Actually, the Book of Shadows protecting Saberlight, not being able to be targeted. He gets away as a result. A Book of Shadows Pangolier rolling around. That's something else.
Yeah, that is like a wormhole or something. I don't even know what the hell that is. They're still looking for some neutral items here for both teams. Pirate Hat for Theolacords, trying to amp up the GPM for buybacks. And Shopify still looking for 2, and Noun still looking for 2. This is becoming a very weird game, honestly. I thought Nouns were going to just be able to close it out with this Terrorblade strength with the Venge behind him and everything, but Shopify have forged through this period where they were missing 3 buybacks from that earlier fight.
Yeah.
And they had to expend another one of Saberlights, and they're still in this game.
Playlist opts for the Arcanist armor, so more magic resistance for everybody, also redirecting some magic, some damage onto himself.
Oh, there's another tier 5. But it's in base. I'll have to wait to see. And
Stormstormer. Imagine he wants the cast range item with the way he's kind of playing. Maybe another mirror
shield? Shadows or something.
Yeah.
Save people from this Alk, who's just literally gone berserk on this game.
Look at all these mines, man. This is a dangerous spot. Trying to contest this Roshan.
Arteezy shows.
They do have some buybacks to play with here on both sides, but the buybacks may be more effective on Shopify. And Arteezy, don't forget, he can threaten buildings. I don't even think backdoor protection stops him.
It will not. He can get through it, but it's not. I don't think he kills the throne like instantly. You know, it probably takes a bit.
Opaj has this push coming in top lane. They've got recall to use, or Arteezy could just run through the front door.
Look at dead for the bounty hunter. Just wants to send these units out, do some
One of the mines
scouting.
going off. Arteezy getting some information. Pops it, goes for it, sees some heroes grouped up, and immediately tries to combo them, but they do have Yuma on the side here. The Scotty is already laying in. Fly's gonna die soon. That's gonna be the first one down, but Arteezy, he needs to refresh, but he's just so slowed down by the Scotty. He can't get away from all of these heroes. The fight's gonna continue with Shopify with Kitrak on top of all these heroes with a freezing field. It's almost killing Stormer, but it's not quite enough, but he got frostbite onto Yuma. Yuma has to turn around, get off the Sunder. He gets it off in time. Saberlight can't do anything about that now. Book of Shadows trying to get away. Leaving his supports behind. Can he get out of it? Swashbuckle away, get bursted by the damage reflection of Arcanist armor.
I mean, they just didn't want to all in it. They didn't want to commit the outbuy to try and win that fight. I mean, you can't blame them because it wasn't going well, but now you're dead on 3. No buyback on the Pangolier for a minute and a half, and you expended that outbuy in the end regardless. You can't get anything done with it because, I mean, he doesn't want to run into this Roche solo. So much of that fight came down to the reaction. If Gunnar does not get BKB off there, that Alk might just shred him. And you're looking at a very different engagement. Instead, Arteezy has to settle for the Venge. That's like the worst target because he just comes back as the illusion. You got to kill him again. And even then, he has another buyback.
Yeah.
It's just so much HP he has to get through 3 mirror shields.
Oh, Yopaj goes to the gate, immediately caught as Roshan will now switch sides.
Mines are not your friend. Does have a buyback, but there's just no contesting this. This game is slipping away from Shopify. They just can't find a way to close it out with that momentum they had in that early mid game. This will be another banner, another refresher shard. And your buyback for Gunnar has returned. He wants it. So you're only missing the Venge. Oh, Artor, you are showing very deep.
Yeah, they just took Roshan nearby.
Double stun.
Do they have any bashers?
Did
He doesn't want BKB. What's going on? He's just dead with no buyback?
Says take me to
Is that
game
how
5.
this game ends?
Team too heavy. Let end. I don't know. I mean, fill in the blank, but I feel like this game was probably over either way, but that is a weird way for it to end, right?
Yeah.
And it'll be Nouns walking down mid. No backdoor potential with the Alk dead. No real threat on any of these cores.
Yeah, legitimately the second biggest threat in these fights is the Crystal Maiden.
It really is. Who's still deciding on a tier 5 and gets a Seer Stone. Not really going to make a big difference here.
Let's see what they can put together here. It's going to have to be Saberlight hitting some beautiful Rolling Thunder smashes, and he hits nobody on his entrance. So we're going to have to reset and wait for another one, which is going to be up in 35 seconds, but they don't have that amount of time with Nouns going straight for the tier 4s.
Have to
Spells
stop
being bounced
Yuma.
back all over the place. Saberlight needs some help here. Swap back in. Book of Shadows. That'll help him get away. Damage being thrown out. BKB forced to be used by Yuma. Kitrak in there with the freezing field.
A lot of damage.
Does damage. He gets BKB out of some of these heroes, but ultimately may not be able to escape the swap back on Adia Lacor as well. Both the supports down, and so does Saberlight fall. A lot of damage, but ultimately no carry to help bail them out here. Yopaj throwing Dagon after Dagon, but a Sunder usage from Yuma will end this game. Gets a full HP and a chance to slowly bring down this buildings and these heroes and push it to a game 5.
Yeah, damn. I think the amount of people, if you polled them after that game 2, that would have thought this was going to go to a game 5 was probably less than 1%. Like, legitimately was probably less than 1% because they got absolutely ramshackled in those first 2 games against